It's pretty sick, but not like that. No.
Algebra might sound intimidating, but it's really just a fancy way of solving problems using letters and numbers. At its core, algebra is about finding the unknowns and understanding the relationships between different quantities. It's like a universal language that helps us describe patterns and solve puzzles. Think of algebra as a detective game where the goal is to find the missing pieces of a puzzle. Just like a detective gathers clues to solve a mystery, we gather information and use logical steps to find the value of unknown variables. Instead of using magnifying glasses and fingerprints, we use equations and variables. These equations are like the clues that lead us to the solution. By manipulating these clues, we can uncover the hidden values and solve the problem. These tools help us represent relationships between different quantities and unlock the secrets of the mathematical universe. For example, if we know the relationship between distance, speed, and time, we can use algebra to find any one of these quantities if we know the other two. Don't worry, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to crack the code of algebra. With practice and patience, anyone can learn to solve algebraic equations. It's all about understanding the rules and applying them step by step. Algebra is a powerful tool that helps us make sense of the world around us. Scientists use it to understand natural phenomena, engineers use it to design and build structures, and from calculating the trajectory of a basketball to designing bridges and buildings, algebra is everywhere. It's used in sports to improve performance, in architecture to create stable structures, and in technology to develop new innovations. It's the language of science, technology, engineering, and math, and it plays a vital role in countless fields. Whether you're interested in medicine, computer science, or environmental science, a strong understanding of algebra will be incredibly valuable. Learning algebra is like gaining a superpower that allows you to solve complex problems and understand the underlying principles governing our world. It gives you the ability to think logically and critically, skills that are essential in any career. So, put on your thinking caps, grab your pencils, and get ready to embark on an exciting journey into the world of algebra. We'll explore different types of equations, learn how to manipulate variables, and discover the beauty of mathematical relationships. We'll start with the basics and gradually build our way up to more challenging concepts. You'll learn about linear equations, quadratic equations, and even some more advanced topics like polynomials and functions. Remember, everyone learns at their own pace, so don't be afraid to ask questions and seek help when needed. Algebra can be challenging, but with persistence and the right support, you can master it. With a little effort and a positive attitude, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve in the realm of algebra. So, let's dive in and start solving some equations together. The world of algebra is waiting for you to explore and conquer it. Let's start with a familiar concept, the number line. The number line is a visual representation that helps us understand the order and value of numbers. Imagine a straight line extending infinitely in both directions. This line represents all possible numbers, stretching out to positive infinity on one end and negative infinity on the other. We can mark points on this line to represent numbers. 0 is our starting point, with positive numbers to the right and negative numbers to the left. Each point on the line corresponds to a unique number, creating a clear visual of their relationships. Now let's introduce variables. Variables are like placeholders for numbers. They allow us to write equations and expressions that can represent many different situations. We can use any letter, but X and Y are common choices. These letters stand in for unknown values that we aim to discover through solving equations. Think of a variable as a mysterious box containing a secret number. Our goal is to figure out what's inside the box. This mystery makes solving equations both challenging and fun. For example, the equation x plus 5 equals 8 tells us that some unknown number, x plus 5 equals 8. This equation is like a puzzle we need to solve. By using algebra, we can solve for x and reveal the hidden number. Algebra provides us with a set of rules and techniques to manipulate equations and uncover the values of variables. In this case, we can subtract 5 from both sides of the equation to isolate x, giving us x equals 3. This step-by-step process helps us systematically find the value of the variable. Voila! We've solved for x and discovered the secret number. Understanding how to work with number lines and variables is fundamental in mathematics, opening the door to more complex concepts and problem-solving techniques. Exponents might sound complicated, but they're really just a shorthand way of writing repeated multiplication. They simplify expressions and make calculations more manageable, especially when dealing with large numbers. For example, instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, we can simply write 2 to the power of 4, which means 2 multiplied by itself 4 times. This not only saves space but also makes it easier to understand and work with large numbers. The small number, 4 in this case, written above and to the right of the base or power. The base number is the number being multiplied, and the exponent tells us how many times to multiply the base by itself. Exponents are especially useful when dealing with very large or very small numbers. They allow us to express these numbers in a more compact and understandable form, which is particularly helpful in scientific and engineering contexts. For instance, the speed of light is approximately 300 million meters per second, which can be written more compactly as 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meters per second, using scientific notation. This notation makes it easier to read, write, and communicate such large values. Now, let's look at a fundamental equation in algebra: y equals mx plus c. This equation is crucial in understanding linear relationships and is widely used in various fields such as physics, economics, and statistics. This equation represents a straight line on a graph, where m is the slope of the line and c is the y-intercept, the point where the line crosses the y-axis. The slope indicates how steep the line is, and the y-intercept shows where the line meets the y-axis. The variables ax and y represent any point on the line. By understanding the relationship between x and y, we can predict and analyze various scenarios in real life. By plugging in different values for x, we can calculate the corresponding values for y and plot the line. This process helps us visualize the relationship between the variables and understand how changes in one variable affect the other. When solving equations, it's crucial to follow the correct order of operations, otherwise we might end up with the wrong answer. That's where PEMDAS comes in. PEMDAS is a handy acronym that stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, and addition and subtraction from left to right. Let's look at an example. 5 plus 2 times 3 squared. Using PEMDAS, we first solve the exponent 3 squared equals 9. Then we perform the multiplication. 2 times 9 equals 18. Finally, we add 5 plus 18 equals 23. If we had simply solved the equation from left to right without following PEMDAS, we would have gotten the incorrect answer of 63. Remember, PEMDAS is your trusty sidekick in the world of algebra. Whenever you encounter an equation with multiple operations, always refer to PEMDAS to ensure you're solving it correctly.